It was a dominant start from world champion Rob Cross, but world number 2 and top seed Peter Wright looked like he was staging a comeback. However, it wasn't to be for Wright, and in the end Cross ran out a convincing 8-3 winner to book his place in the US Darts Masters final. Here are his numbers, and as I say, a smooth success for Cross. We'll find out in a few moments' time who meets him in the final, because next up is Gary Anderson against James Wade, who was brilliant against Michael van Gerwen. And Alan and Chris are in the studio with me. Who wins this one out?
Well, got to go for Anderson. I've been picking him from the start, and I wouldn't change it anywhere.
Yeah, James was good against Michael van Gerwen. Can he upset Gary Anderson?
Well, if he replicates that performance against MVG, then he has every chance. The early part of that match, he was into the around 115 mark, and that's a game for anyone.
Yeah, well, it is time for our second semi-final, where we will find out who will play Rob Cross for a chance to win the US Darts Masters and $20,000. It's two-time world champion Gary Anderson against James Wade, who, as we've just discussed, was absolutely breathtaking against mighty Michael van Gerwen in the quarters. Anderson has won four of the last 5 World Series meetings. Who will come out on top and book their place in the final? Let's find out. Here's John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our second semi-final of the William Hill US Darts Masters, coming to you from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, Las Vegas! Well, for a right to play Rob Cross in the final, let's meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, looking for his third World Series final, would you please welcome the multi-major title winner, that is the Machine, James Wade! From Scotland, the winner of 5 World Series events, a 2-time Premier League champion and the former 2-time back-to-back champion of the world, the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson! Rob Cross, the world champion, awaits in the final. It is either Gary Anderson or James Wade who will go up against him for the title of US Darts Master. Will be a new champion this year. Michael van Gerwen dumped out by that man there, James Wade, in a quite astonishing display in the quarter-finals. An 8-3 victory, 102 average, but the finishing absolutely sublime from the Machine. It's always been the strong point of his game. But over the last few months, he has been showing us that he's been coming back into form. This sort of display had been coming from James Wade. Whereas Gary Anderson, all year he's been winning stuff. 5 titles already. It could be a 6th here today in Las Vegas. And it could be a 6th World Series of Darts title for the Flying Scotsman as well.
Well, what you were saying about Wade, it was a typical performance, to be quite honest. I mean, in his first round match, he struggled through, but James always seems to play the player. So when he plays a player that's like one of the qualifiers, he just plays to get over the line. But against Michael van Gerwen, he steps up. It reminded me of the match that he played against Michael in New Zealand, in Auckland, a couple of years ago, where he beat Michael with a real brilliant average. And it was just like that.
100.
And you're right about his checkouts, and I've said it all along. He is one of the best players in the world at checking out. And do you know why? If you look at his rhythm does not change dart on dart. He does not rush anything. He does not overtake any time on it. It's just solid all the time.
And he has done work technically, hasn't he, over the last few months. At the back end of last year, we were seeing James Wade going through like high 70s averages, which we'd never seen before. It was the hardest period of his life in terms of his professional darts and his form. But he has ironed out, like, he doesn't sort of hop up on one foot anymore, and he has gone back to how he was throwing when he was, you know, incredibly successful.
Well, we pulled up a lot of times this going up on his toes as he's releasing the dart, which obviously you're not going to be consistent, and you're right. That's the one thing he has straightened out. You don't really see him go up on that toe now. He stays solid on the heel of the left foot and just let the arm do the action.
Double 12 then. That's the first leg.
Gary Anderson, second leg James to Roper.
As you'd imagine, these two have met loads and loads of times. More than 50 times, in fact, in their professional careers. All over the place. World Series events, Premier League, Pro Tour stuff in the big major tournaments, of course.
Well, for the last half an hour while the other semi was going on, they were practicing together in the back room. How many sports would you see that two competitors that are going to go against each other on a big stage live on TV? That's practicing and having a laugh and a joke with each other.
A 7th maximum of the tournament for the machine, James Wade.
James 161.
One of his victories over Gary Anderson, Wadey, one of his 16 wins over Gary Anderson. Came a couple of years ago in a European Tour event in Hamburg when he beat Anderson, he beat Michael van Gerwen, and he claimed the title. Last time he won a ranking event.
109!
I believe that was in Gibraltar, was it?
That was Hamburg.
Hamburg, was it?
Has one in Gibraltar as well, James Wade. Double 8, not his favourite double. But it doesn't matter when he's in this kind of form.
Now, when my son Ryan used to go and practice with James, he said the one thing that always impressed him, even in practice, the amount of times he'd take out 80, take out 76, take out 92. He just did it like 7, 8 out of 10. Well, that was still Taylor in his prime. It was actually Michael van Gerwen or any of the top players, but that's at the top of their game. But Wadey, it's always been, that's been the best part of his game.
It is, and so much of it is built on his success at hitting double top and double 10, but any double on the board. James Wade is proficient at hitting, and if you've got one dart in your hand and you've got to hit a double, an informed James Wade is one of the guys you would back with your life to do it.
95.
What's me? Not me? Dan? Oh, come on. No, you're absolutely right. You would, yes. Totally agree.
Obviously, I bat you, Rod, but you won't go near a set of darts anymore, despite the pleading.
More like the bleeding.
58.
Chance here for Wadey. Good setup shot. And he's going to get it, isn't he?
That's a brilliant setup shot from James Wade. Was asked a question from Gary Anderson. He's not going to be able to do anything about it, so Wade's going to get up. He's going to get 2 darts at his favourite double top. And the way he's playing, just cannot imagine that this is going to be missed.
And you've got the third leg. James Wade. 4th leg, James to Roper. Game on.
Gary Anderson does tend to win most of their meetings. He's won twice as many games, 32 to 83. The games he's lost, 16 against James Wade, with a few draws in there as well. There have obviously been Premier League players for a number of seasons.
45.
Anderson has a particularly good record in the World Series events against James Wade. He's won 4 of their 5 encounters. Only one.
140.
But Wadey won was the one in Shanghai a couple of years back.
58.
It's some story though, wouldn't it? James Wade found himself as the story of the inaugural US Darts Masters last year by virtue of being beaten, the surprise victim of Dawson Michelle. Then to bounce back and then win it the following year would be some going.
It's especially when we thought he was going to lose the first round again.
You require 20.
Well, double 10, another one of his favourites.
He's got a full flag, James Wade.
First start again from James Wade. Takes a 2-leg lead over Gary Anderson, and this is not a time when Gary's got to falter. He's got to hold on to his throw here.
180. 85. 131.
4 perfect darts. We've been teased with the prospect of a 9-darter this week.
140.
Good standard. Both averaging up towards 99. Only 1 dart missed it double so far in this entire match.
That puts a bit of pressure on. 15s. Oh no, is the flight in the way? A brilliant check out from Gary Anderson after the 180 of James Wade. And that was a crucial shot, Dan, because he couldn't have let Wadey back to the board. You know, a 4-1 lead
60.
is, well, then you kind of look at the match he played against Michael Van Gerwen in that quarter-final.
60.
James Wade is a guy who has experienced slumps in his career before and dragged himself out of them.
100.
There were question marks about whether James Wade could battle back from the slump he suffered
80.
a few years back, but he did. Won that tournament in Gibraltar we were talking about, and then went on to claim another big TV title in the Masters.
Yes, he was something like 9-1 down to Mervyn King. There's another 180. His third of the match. And the one thing he did earlier on against Michael Van Gerwen, he held onto his throat very strong. And at the moment, it's exactly what he's doing here.
Well, he does get a go at 96 this time around. That is not the preferred route. He's going to have to be treble 19 for double. Go any route you want, Wadey.
This is an absolutely brilliant display on how to check out whatever double it is.
80.
And again, you know, you have to say the temperament of James Wade there, because he hit the one. A lot of people have been cursing themselves. Wade just steps back, doesn't rush himself, doesn't do anything silly. Oh, it's just treble 19, double 19.
Well, James Wade's becoming a dad for the first time this year.
136.
And he has said that it has given him a new perspective on the game. He realises it is a game. There are more important things, and sometimes James Wade, in the past, has has put so much pressure on himself
140.
to be the best dart player he can be. I think he's just relaxed a little bit this year, and it seems to have helped.
Well, that's why he's here, Dan. That's why he got the pick to come here. He just knuckled down, got on with his game, improved. Like I say, sorted his throw out a little bit, and he got the pick, and he's justifying that pick.
140.
Well, he could go into the break
98.
with a 3-leg lead here. He's only missed one dart at double so far. And he is not missing anything, James Wade. The machine very much living up to his name. 106.25 the average. You wouldn't know it with the way he's just strolled off stage. But the machine is back and firing and could be setting up a final here in Las Vegas with the world champion Rob Cross. Welcome back to Las Vegas, where James Wade, the machine, is playing unreal stuff at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. 5-2 up on the Flying Scotsman Gary Anderson. 3 legs away from a spot in the final of the US Darts Masters. 106 average, only missed 1 dart at double. And it's just more of the same from Wadey, having already dispatched the world #1 Michael van Gerwen. The machine is back, and the machine is going to win titles this year if he carries on playing like this, and possibly some of the biggest titles in the game, Rob.
Totally agree. When you look at those stats, very, very impressive. You know, 3-180s, 7-140s. There's not many people on the planet that outscore Gary Anderson.
60.
James Wade has taken the game to Gary Anderson exactly like he did to Michael van Gerwen, not making any mistakes, and those percentages on doubles are just exceptional. And you've got 2 of the most casual dart players in the world on that stage at the moment that are just going hammer and tongs at each other.
Yeah, he may look like he's just strolling around up there, but the darts he is throwing are absolutely brutal. He's like a swan with a bazooka. It is just calm and collected, but doing massive damage.
140.
And he doesn't look like he's going to miss. You know, obviously I've known Wade since he was a young man when he first came into the PDC.
122.
When he was winning his majors, he looked like this. You know, this solid game, no mistakes, not panicking. Rhythm staying exactly the same with every single dart.
64.
The 15th of May 2016 is when James Wade last won a title of any sort.
140.
And you watch him play today and you wonder how that could be possible. Because he's not missing. Apart from just them.
28.
But he is going to come back to the board. And you can't see him missing again, so 6-2 lead is staring James Wade in the face. He's just clinical in closing legs out. And you know what, when you're playing someone like that, it puts the extra pressure on you to score even heavier, so he does not get under the 100.
Well, Gary has not played poorly. He's averaging just over a ton. He's averaging almost 102 for the tournament, Gary Anderson, although that is kind of inflated by that ridiculous 112 average in the first round. But 3-180s, 67% on doubles, but he's just not being given any chances by James Wade.
100.
No, what's happening? James Wade on his throw, as he did against Michael van Gerwen, is nearly unbeatable. You know, he's got to find a 12 dart leg, because Wadey, you know, at 105 average, that means he's not using any more than 15 darts in any leg. So against the throw, Gary Anderson's got to find a 12.
60. You've won 118.
Single 18, double top.
He's on the mark play, Gary Anderson.
Well, as you said in the other semi-final, the breaks can change games, and Gary Anderson has been on the receiving end of that last year when Darrell Gurney came out of the break and fought back from behind, firing loads of 180s to win from an unlikely position.
Well, that's what Anderson's got to do. The 180s have got to be on the James Wade throw. However, one is not going to be enough. He's got to follow that up with another one or a 140.
140.
Ton is just not going to be good enough.
91. $65. 100, James Rick, 156.
Big moments coming up. Big moments. Needed another one, and Anderson will get a poke at that 130 for a break of throw the first time in the game.
And that's one of the few mistakes, but this is bullseye for Gary Anderson, and oh, you can see the hole. You can see the hole in that bullseye. It's caught the wire and actually gone in, but not enough momentum to stay in the bullseye. Now, double top for James Wade.
53, Gary.
He will get another go. Disbelief in the Mandalay Bay over that one. Justice.
Let's let Gary to throw first. Game off.
That is the first time that Gary Anderson has managed to break the Wade throw. He's going to have to do it again. But look, he's finding some extra gears here.
100.
And we might see in this semi-final, the last few legs of it, two greats of the game
96.
doing exactly what they're famous for. Gary Anderson with his massive scoring power, and James Wade taking out doubles under pressure. This could be some finish.
190.
Number 4 for James Wade.
96.
4 180s, 12 140s for James Wade. Yeah, that's hit the flight as it's come in.
80. Area require 170.
Not going to go, but James Wade, that dart on the floor has cost him even an extra 20 points that make a big difference here. As it is, he needs 2 trebles.
He may go 25 here. No, he's staying up there.
60.
Yeah, I mean, the 25 would have him 76, which would have been a dart at the double instead the bullseye. However, Gary Anderson may take him out of the equation, and he's done exactly that. Gary Anderson is within 1 of James Wade. However, Wade has still got that break.
140.
This has been some effort from the Flying Scotsman to drag himself back into contention.
91.
But Wade will not panic. He's still averaging around about 104 mark. He's 6 out of 9 on his doubles. If he can just get himself an opportunity or two, you fancy he's going to take it.
58.
Well, again, he's kicked off strong on his throw, and this will put him within 1 of the final place against Rob Cross. Again, he's nicked the treble with the last dart, done on the last 2 visits.
A fifth 180 for Anderson, 3 since the break. But he's not down to a finish. Wade can stay up there, and he does, because he's going to leave himself on double top with 3 darts in his hand. And the way that this game has gone, You'd think
120.
it's just his leg. Anderson has another one on the floor.
That we did not expect. James Wade missing 3 darts at a double at the moment has opened up the chance for Gary Anderson, who takes it and says thank you very much.
13th leg, Gary to throw first. Game off.
A remarkable turnaround in this game.
47.
But the job is not done yet.
Well, we didn't expect that, Dan, did we? The way James Wade has played the last 2 matches on his doubles, just didn't expect him. He's got to switch to 19s, or is he staying there? Oh, well, he stayed there.
10 180s in this game. 6 of them to Anderson, but he's hit 4 in the last 5 legs.
84.
It has been an astonishing fight back from a man who has already won 5 titles this year.
140.
It may still not be enough.
140. Yeah, you've got 140.
Well, he missed 3 darts to double top in the previous leg. Can he take out the 1-2-1? Needs the treble 17. Is not going to get a dart at the double, and this will be the first time that Gary Anderson takes the lead in this match, I believe. So 4 tops to go within 1 leg. And now he's gone and missed.
Astonishing. He was hitting it at will for a spell there. And James Wade shows him how it's done, and this game has turned once more.
Wade steps up with the throw.
Game on.
He would settle with a nice level 15 dart leg. 12 darts would take Gary Anderson right out of the equation.
Look at the games we've had today.
60.
Rob Cross versus Michael Smith was fantastic. 180s all over the place. James Wade and Michael van Gerwen, a cracker. This, a World Series classic. And we've still got a final to come between the world champion Rob Cross and one of these two, and I'm still not sure who it's going to be.
Well, that was a chance missed there, Dan, from Anderson. Wadey went up, only hit a bare 60, and Anderson followed. Need to find the 140. Needs to find a 140 here. Ton's not going to be good enough.
100.
It's not good enough. Needs to find 2 trebles on at least 2 visits.
$60. $46. $60.
I'm not sure where this leg has come from, to be honest, after everything that's gone before. Oh, here we go. There we go.
145.
Do you know, I would have stayed there. I would have risked whatever James Wade hits. I would have gone, because it looks so good for a 180. That's the perfect setup there with those first 2 darts.
$92.
A chance to win it. Another one. To leave his favourite double on the board.
120. There goes 58.
Take us to a last leg decider, and that's where we'll go. James Wade missing 1 dart at double 10 for a 140 finish. And it's Anderson that wins the leg. And now, a nervy last leg. The winner goes to the final to beat Rob Cross.
Look at Gary Anderson geeing himself up before that visit and tell me that he doesn't care about this one. He cares.
$100. 96.
Well, Anderson just needs one big treble with each visit. He gets down to the double first, especially now.
100.
9 darts from 265.
Anderson was 6-2 down to a man averaging 106. And he just ignited.
Oh, that's a good visit. That is an exceptional visit from James Wade.
134. James, you've got 161.
He missed a match start for 140 checkout, but he's not going to get one at the end of this 161 combination.
99. Gary requires 75.
Can Gary Anderson book his place in the final? Double top the target.
Okay.
And Anderson hits it to complete a magnificent comeback. A classic World Series game. Another belter here in Las Vegas for the US Darts Masters. And the title will go to either the Flying Scotsman Gary Anderson or the world champion Rob Cross. That is your final here at the Mandalay Bay in Vegas. And with the way that those two have been playing over the last couple of days, it could be magnificent.
Well, back at Las Vegas a few moments ago, we have genuinely seen one of the all-time great World Series matches. James Wade was 5-2 up over Gary Anderson, who somehow clawed his way back into the match. Wade had a match start in the penultimate leg, but he missed double 10, and Gary Anderson managed to check out 75 in the decider and win a thriller 8-7. That was, as I say, one for the archives.
Outstanding. It was what we call a proper game of darts.